Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Manju Pawar from BPS Women University, Sonipat, Haryana. Today we are going to talk on the model Participatory Planning and Community Engagement from the paper Human Resource Development through Community Engagement. After completing this model, the students will be able to understand the concept of participatory planning, advantages of participatory planning, how to enhance people's participation of the community in participatory planning, and in the last, best practice of participatory planning will also be discussed in this module. Participation has been recognized as a basic principle to enable the people, particularly marginalized groups, to solve their problems as equal partners in transparent and cooperative manner. In view of this, not only the focus of all the development efforts are towards building institutional capacity through participation and local self-reliance leading to empowerment. In this model, we will also discuss the methodologies of participatory planning and the suggestions for making it more effective in tackling issues of socio-economic development. Panchayats are expected to prepare plan for economic development and social justice, including 29 subjects listed in the 11th schedule of the Constitution. Keeping the above in view, it is expected that for the purpose of formulation of the decentralized plan, the first step is the Gram Sabha for its consideration in Gram Panchayat meeting. The plans prepared by all the Gram Panchayat falling under the jurisdiction of the Panchayat Samiti are to be assembled at its level with the purpose to have detailed discussions on the plan proposals received from various Gram Panchayats, and if there is any gap or lacuna in the plans prepared by various Gram Panchayats, they should be sorted out. The plans so prepared by all the Panchayat Samitis of the district will be forwarded to the Jila Parishad with the purpose of discussion at its level, and if there are some gaps, these should be resolved. In this way, plan for the entire rural areas of the district will be prepared by Jila Parishad. In a similar fashion, plans of the urban area will be prepared by urban local bodies of the district. The plan so prepared by urban local bodies will be integrated by District Planning Committee, that is DPC. These committees are expected to prepare the plan for the entire district and to send a draft plan to the state government. This is the basic constitutional provision for the decentralized planning. Here we are focusing on the participatory plan where peoples are engaged in various activities of the plan. Now students, we must understand the meaning of participatory approach. In its simplest term, a participatory approach is one in which everyone who has a stake in the intervention has a voice either in person or by representation. Staff of the organization that will run it, members of the target population, community officials, interested citizens and people from involved agencies, schools and other institutions all should be invited. Everyone's participation should be welcomed and respected. The important thing to remember here is the word participatory. The use of that term implies each participant becomes an important provider to the planning process. A true participatory approach is one in which everyone's perspective is considered. That does not mean that people cannot challenge others' statement or argue about what is the best strategy might be. It does mean, however, that everyone's thoughts are respected and it is not necessary to assume that the professionals or the well-educated knows what is best. Everyone actually gets to participate in the planning process and has some role in decision making. Field realities show that many low-income or minority individuals and groups feel that they have no voice in the society, that they are not listened to even when they are asked for their opinions. True participation means that everyone has a voice which must be acknowledged. It is very important that when we talk about participatory planning, the active participation of the people should be ensured. The planning exercise should be prepared through the active involvement of the people or residents of the particular geographical area, which may be a village or cluster of villages. For example, in case of village plan, actual needs and problems of the villagers, particularly marginalized sections of the society, get top priority in the plan. But the grassroots reality indicate that oppressed sections of the society are not included in the planning process, which defeats the purpose of planning. Now students, we will discuss some of the advantages of participatory planning. The best way of planning process would be if all the elected representatives, officials from government agencies such as school, Anganwadi workers are involved. Following are the benefits of the participatory planning. So, the first advantage of the participatory planning is that actual problems by the people are identified as people know where the shoe pinches. 2. As vulnerable groups also participate, their problems can get priority. Number 3. Access to various ideas and resources. Number 4. Marginalized groups of the people come together. Social capital build up, which in turn creates trust between and among individuals of the community, resulting in the community action, is another advantage of the participatory planning. The feeling of ownership among people might be observed through participatory planning. Notion of negativity also vanish as all are on the equal footing and taking decisions by themselves. There is an increased acceptability of the organization among local people. Another advantage of participatory planning is that through participatory planning, a number of basic issues such as drinking water, sanitation, village roads, public health, livelihood, etc. are addressed by the people in the community. In nutshell, the local issues are addressed in a systematic manner through participatory planning. For instance, through participatory planning, how can most needy issues can be tackled? Which area of the geographical unit need most attention? Resources is needed for the village development. Such kind of issues can only be tackled through participatory planning. Now students, we should also understand the meaning of prospective plan. Prospective plan means long term plan for 15 years or so. It means that whatever we are planning at present have long term goals, objectives, strategies and targets. It may be related to any sector or for the entire range of activities. For example, it may include targets like correcting the territory with main roads, ensuring safe drinking water, achieving open defecation free toilets in the school, Anganwadi, 100% vaccination, improvement in the facilities in the schools, etc. We must also know what is the meaning of 5-year plan. 5-year plan will be prepared for 5 years. This plan contains the activities to be taken in the period of 5 years along with the funds, timelines and locations. In a similar fashion, the annual plan should contain activities to be taken up during the year with all the specification indicated under 5-year plan. Now, we are discussing the steps to be undertaken to prepare participatory planning. Here, we are focusing activities for preparation of annual plan of Gram Panchayat. Collection of the data is the key of participatory planning. It is important to get relevant data or information about some major issues for the development of the Gram Panchayat. These issues may be related to the status of civic services such as drinking water, roads, drainage, street lights, etc. Issues which come under livelihood are agriculture output, irrigated and unirrigated land, labourers, fishers, animal husbandry, etc. Status of the local institutions such as schools, Anganwadi centers, sub-centers, PDS, etc. In a similar way, information about the health, education, vulnerable groups like SC, ST, women, physically challenged person, social issues like alcoholism, drug abuse, violence against women, etc. have to be collected. Income and expenditure details of the Gram Panchayat should also be obtained. Now, based on the basic information, some basic issues may be explored, like in the case of children. In the case of children, relevant information may be gathered like infant deaths within the year with reasons, status of institutional delivery, status of immunization, status of child labor and if it exists, areas where children are employed, status of Anganwadi center, health sub center in the Gram Panchayat area, and the number of children attending Anganwadi centers and whether all equipments are available in the Anganwadi centers, if not available, reasons for the same. In a similar way, issues related to education, health, agriculture, etc. have to be obtained with the participation of people in identifying these issues. In case of education, the status of dropped out children in the Gram Panchayat, second, status of schools in the Gram Panchayat area and the status of teachers and students. Interest of the teachers in teaching and interest of the learning among students may also be identified through participatory planning. Status of basic facilities such as drinking water and separate toilets for boys and girls can also be identified. Status of midday meal along with the quality of food served to children. Whether PTA meeting has been holding regularly and whether decisions of the PTA have been put into practice. These are some of the issues which can be tackled through participatory planning in the field of education. Status of drinking water facilities in all the Gram Panchayat, sources of drinking water, how many households have toilets, how many households use toilet, status of general cleanliness in the village, status of liquid and solid waste management are some of the issues related to water and sanitation which may be identified through participatory planning. In the case of health, status of occurrence of diseases with seasons, whether the health sub-center has proper infrastructure and how far facilities like medicines, vaccination, etc. are available in the primary health centers. Whether the nurse is regularly attending the health sub-center, whether people are getting regular treatment from it are some of the issues related to the health perspective. Through participatory planning, social issues like alcoholism and its repercussions on the society, incidence of violence against women, prevalence of child marriage in the Gram Panchayat, status of the incident of women and child trafficking in the area, how many women self-help group are there in the Gram Panchayat area and whether these self-help group have been able to take income generating activities for the economic empowerment are some of the issues can be tackled by participatory planning. In addition to this, status of minimum wages in the Gram Panchayat and whether all eligible persons are getting old age pension and if not, how many are not getting the same and to identify the reasons for not getting the old age pension in the Gram Panchayat can also be identified through participatory planning. Under the infrastructure and housing, status of homeless households can be found. Whether the roads are connected with the main roads, if not, where is the problem that is becoming barrier of linking road with the main road. Whether the Gram Panchayat has a drainage system, if so, how effective is it? Accessibility of the household to electricity and the status of street lights in the villages of the Gram Panchayat. In addition to this, through participatory planning, whether the Gram Panchayat enjoys market facilities for selling agriculture produce. If not, can it be developed? These are some of the issues that can be tackled through participatory planning. Under the livelihoods, employment and agriculture, questions such as total agricultural land in the area, total irrigated land and main agriculture producers can be found out through participatory planning. Household not having agricultural land, what are the profession of for those who do not have land, how many households applied for the job card under Manrega, number of the household without job cards and average person days generated for the household may also be identified. How many of the ponds contain water throughout the year, whether irrigation facilities are available, what are the sources of irrigation, such questions need to be ascertained in the village for effective planning. Under disaster point, details of the natural disaster occurred in the area during the last 5 years, detail of the month or season of occurring, what measures can be taken to prevent such disasters and minimize their adverse effects. Such questions can be asked from the community while planning for the development of the village. Another step of the participatory planning is the identification and prioritization of the issues in the Gram Sabha. After data collection and identification of the issues, Detailed assessment of the people concerns and priorities will be deliberated in the Gram Sabha meeting. This can be done by the Gram Sabha. The data collected should be placed before the Gram Sabha for its consideration. Issues related to health, education, livelihood, housing, environment, sanitation, social security, public service delivery, special needs of the poor, marginalized and physically challenged, etc. should be discussed in the Gram Sabha meeting. Villagers should be given opportunity and encouraged to voice their needs and concerns in the meeting. After data collection and identification of the issues, next step is the identification of strategies and activities to be taken up by the Gram Panchayat. The standing committees of the Gram Panchayat could be used for this purpose. The committee could also invite technical personnel for more meaningful discussion on identifying strategies and activities to achieve the identified goal and objectives. Officials should be involved so that they can provide technical inputs. If need arises, Gram Panchayat can also form working group with the composition of elected representatives, non-elected and technical persons to help the standing committee in the preparation of the Gram Panchayat plan. Identification of the resources is another step in participatory planning. After identification of strategies and activities, fund availability and needs to be considered. The funds available under various centrally sponsored schemes, state sponsored schemes and schemes of the Gram Panchayat should be used to finance prioritized activities. Human and natural resources available at the Gram Panchayat in terms of labor, skill and material contribution from the community should also be considered during the preparation of the Gram Panchayat plan and budget. The draft plan so prepared to be approved by the Gram Panchayat. In doing so, the departmental functionaries as well as available knowledgeable persons including people working in the NGOs may also be involved. The draft plan should be discussed truly in the Gram Panchayat meeting. After the approval of the Gram Panchayat, the draft plan is to be presented in the Gram Sabha meetings for discussion. The funds available should also be discussed and the Gram Panchayat may inform the members of the Gram Sabha about the funds to be used for solving the problems related to water, sanitation or any other issue. In the village, after incorporating the changes approved by the Gram Sabha into the final Gram Panchayat plan, the plan may be approved in the Gram Panchayat meeting. Budget. Budget is the important component of the Gram Panchayat plan and budget has to be seen in an integrated way as without budget plan is useless exercise. It is important that activities of the Gram Panchayat plan having cost implications need to be budgeted. Now, we should also know what are the checklists of the participatory planning. The checklists of the participatory planning need to be seen in a systematic manner. For instance, whether various steps in the planning process has been mandated, timelines have been initiated, how far clear goals and corresponding activities have been identified, whether the suggestions of the Gram Sabha officials and experts have been taken, whether the needs of all the wards as well as SCs, ST and women have been met, whether exercise of the approval of the annual plan and budget in the Gram Panchayat and in the Gram Sabha have been done. Now students, we will discuss the best practice of the participatory planning. These are the lessons from Kerala Kelisari Gram Panchayat. A case study of Kelisari Gram Panchayat of Kerala state is presented as the best practice of the participatory planning. An integrated area plan for a panchayat would require firstly a fairly comprehensive database of the land, water and human resources and the status of their present utilization of resources. Secondly, the traditional knowledge of the villages has to be combined with modern technology in an appropriate way. Thirdly, mass participation holds the key to the success of the areas plan, which requires reawakening of the dormant cooperative and creative instincts of the people. This Gram Panchayat conducted detailed investigation of the village and prepared resource survey by adding information like demand survey for vegetables and eggs educational institution survey, mapping of the drainage channels in the panchayats, total energy survey and preparation of the proposal for watershed program in the Gram Panchayat. This Gram Panchayat proved to be effective in generating a user-friendly database of the natural resources in the village and sensitizing the people regarding the use and misuse of resources, creating village level expertise that could take initiative in preparing a comprehensive panchayat plan. An important feature of this Gram Panchayat plan is the reliance of volunteer labor. Of the total of 3,119 person days, 96 were volunteer work, including a lot of specialist work. The underlying reason of the tension between departmental schemes and the local activists lay in the fact that panchayats had no control over the line departments. Only empowered panchayats can be fulcrum of the local government. The experiment of this Gram Panchayat has also proved to be the only way to progress is the active participation of the people. As a medium for strengthening the capabilities of the people, this is the greatest message perhaps the new Panchayati Raj institutions can learn. The only power of to the people slogan could become more justificable and meaningful. Now, to conclude this model, a participatory planning process is one in which all the stakeholders are involved. It is the most effective and inclusive way to plan a community intervention. A participatory process provides community ownership and support of the involvement, information about community history, politics and past mistakes and respect voice for everyone. It also takes time, care, mutual respect and dedication. In order to conduct such process well, it is important to understand that participation of people of the community is must. All the stakeholders must be ready to sit together and do planning for the development of the village. It is important to remember that participatory planning process must be sustained for long time so that momentum should not be lost. If we are able to meet all the requirements while conducting participatory planning, chances are very high that we will come with some successful community intervention, one that truly works and meets the community needs in an effective manner. Thank you.